Hey, I'm Jarek120 from How to Disturb Reality, and today we're going to be learning the invisible pass. You know, we've learned the classic pass, we've learned the Herman pass, and now we're going to upgrade the series and start to learn the elements that make the pass invisible, starting with the invisible pass. Let's learn how to do it. So let's dive right into it. This pass uses the classic pass and the hiding movement of squaring up the deck to execute the pass in that motion. And it's happening as the hands are going down. So you're using the excuse of you're bringing your hands up to square it up, and then you're bringing them back down to the normal position, and this is where the classic pass is happening. Both your hand and the what comes to be the top of the deck, starting out as the bottom, is blocking the spectator's eyes from really seeing the move happen. So even if you square up, you can kind of get an idea of when the move is happening. With this move, it's important to spread the cards out, because when you bring them back, they're supposed to be messy. So the 9 of diamonds in the middle, oh, they're messy. I'm going to have to square those up really quick. That's just the excuse. Obviously, you don't say that. That's just the psychology behind executing the move at that exact moment in time. So there you go, simple way. There's the classic pass, which there's a very in-depth detail on the Disturb Reality channel. And just execute the classic pass, not here as it's squared up, but as you're coming down around this point in time, so your hand can block the move, the initial move, and then once those cards are out of the way, which they are now you pivot the cards up like we've learned, and now there's essentially no need to hide much more of the move. So I'll show you different angles in which it's from, but again, you square it up, and my hands got cropped out there for a second, but 4 of spades, you square it up, and as you put it down. And a lot of people have a misconception to make a huge hand motion. They're like, bring it way up here and then way down here, when it should be as concise as possible, as if your wrists are locked in place and just your hands are going up and down, if you know what I mean. If you dig, Sir Elton John. And so, boom, wrists up, boom, wrists down, execute the classic pass in that very small motion. But again, it can be quick, it can be relatively calculated. If you're doing it fast and it's sloppy and you add a little jiggle to it, which isn't super necessary, but just squaring the cards up, the move can be executed. Again, as I was saying, as far as the movement of how much the hands are moving, we have the 10 of hearts. You don't want to come way up here and then way down here. It's not that necessary. It looks like you're messing something up by having and you're trying to hide something. It should just be a small, concise moment, and this is like a move to execute when someone is just staring you down, staring your hands straight down, and ideally if their eyeballs are directly down over you, you could almost get right up next to them and say, oh, here, like, look down. They'll look straight down, and as you square up the cards, the move happens. So the ideal angle is almost their eyes directly above the deck of cards. This is more of an exposing manner. But even if they are somewhat in front of you, the big thing to hide this move is your hand placement and the deck placement to their eyes. So I could do it as such, but as long as I can get my hands like this, I haven't done the pass yet, but if I can get my hands like this so the back of the cards are facing your eyes, Then the idea is theoretically it should be hidden, and it gets executed here. So as long as I end in a position, it looks kind of weird or uncomfortable, but it ends in a position where they're directly at the spectator's eyes, it should be well hidden. But as far as when the move's being hit, I'll go like this so you can see. So we have the jack clubs in the middle, that square up motion, it's coming under as such. And here's an exposed angle over here. We have the ton of parts. We square it up, and here is when the pass happens. And the way the cards, let's pretend my hands aren't in here. The way the cards are going to be is as they come up, it's basically like the cards are going like this, sideways, and then back down to their original placing as such. So you're holding them like this, right? But let's just pretend my hands aren't there. Square them up, turn them back down. So if you're confused as to how the hands are moving, it's just up, so your knuckles are facing them in the eye. And that's something you have to be conscious of too, is the break in the cards. So you don't want to go too much and see that break in there, but you do want to go enough so that when the move happens, it can be, to the best of your ability, well covered. You're hiding a small motion under a big motion. So the idea is nothing's happening on the way up, but on the way down, that's when the small move happens. And this arguably isn't even a big motion. So let me show you the magician's perspective of how it would work. So with the invisible pass, from your perspective, you're going to have that card in the middle, and you're going to perform the classic pass under the cover of squaring the deck up. There is when the move happens on the way down. Be mindful of, I kind of got called out on my windows in a previous video, and windows are gaps in your fingers. I have long, skinny fingers, so I have a natural tendency to have windows. Just can't really help it, they're there. So try to be mindful of that, and a way you can do that is by having all 4 of your hands cover the top of the deck. And that is one way to hide your windows. And just be conscious to squeeze tight around that area, around that time when it's time to hit the move. The reason I tend to try to keep my hands more open is because I don't want anything really blocking the cards from getting to where they need to be. If you have all 4 fingers on top of the deck, it might be a little more strenuous, but I'm sure you'll learn to perfect it just like anything else you put practice into if you were to use all 4 fingers, excuse me. I ain't Goro up in this bitch. 5 of clubs in the middle, you go to square it up. You keep it nice and sloppy. So you're using this nasty ridden pile to turn this deck over, the card, 5 of clubs. You go to put in the middle, and while you're going to square it up, you put your break there, you're getting ready to do the classic pass. So, all ugly cards. Just got to square them up really quick, and on the way down, you execute the classic pass, which hopefully you've been learning. And I hope you keep continuing to learn the pass, because it is extremely beneficial. I'd say it is the #1 sleight of hand move that you could learn. And if that's not it, I'd say the double lift. But that just goes to show, double lift, the pass on the same parallel. At least in my experience, at least in my opinion. But who am I? Just some YouTube kid from Macomb, Michigan. So in the middle, turn it over. Ew, we gotta do something with that. It's all gross. Might as well square it up. And on the way down, you try to use the back of your hand and the top of this packet to block the spectator's eyes from seeing exactly what's really going on. In the meantime, don't jump too far ahead. Keep practicing your classic pass if you haven't got this down yet. Don't skip chapters. Learn it. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the ride. Classic pass, Herman pass. Get those down, and then we will continue to make them invisible. My biggest advice when doing this is be very mindful of something like that. You don't need this big motion. It's just a small motion covering another small motion. Arguably a big motion. This is even a big motion. So, and again, it's not invisible here because, well, the way I'm sitting. But that is the invisible pass, and I'm Jericho120 teaching you the pass. And powerful magic, integrated with social dynamics, teaching you how to be a magician, not just teaching you magic tricks. There's a lot of people on the YouTube and the internet verse that'll teach you magic, you know? Cool, learn your magic. But if you want to learn how to be a magician, be an entertainer, be a performer, go out in the real world, get some jobs, make some money off of your magic skills, then you know the place to be is right here at How to Disturb Reality. So hit that subscribe button for future updates on the past and other videos that I am going to release personally, teaching you what I've learned in my 11 plus years of experience doing magic. Hop over to disturbreality.com for funny videos and content and such of the matter. If you want to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Jericho120, Facebook.com/disturbreality. You know, my buddy Assad has taught a lot of different variations of the pass, the bluff pass, the classic pass, the Herman pass. He also runs the Disturb Reality website. So if you check out the Disturb Reality website, you're putting some coin in his pocket, you're putting some coin in my pocket, hop over to his YouTube channel. There you're helping him support him even more. Also getting a lot of questions about my t-shirts. Hey, where can I get one of those t-shirts? Well, you can buy one from me by emailing me at howtodisturbereality@gmail.com. I can send it to you personally. I could sign it for you if you want to. I can also throw in a deck of cards if you so desire for an extra donation. Of course, I can't give away cards for free, but also ProWrestlingTees.com at the store Jericho120. So I'll leave links in the description. So now you can buy through a third party, and it kicks back some cash to me, help me keep supported and funded, and you wearing Disturb Reality t-shirts out and about is more support than I could ask for. So again, much love, appreciate all of you for watching this. I hope you're enjoying the past series. We're going to keep going on. I have a lot more videos on the past, so buckle in, sit tight. December is going to be a good month. Be inspired to learn, aspire to disturb, and always rise above. These hands are lifting it up. My thumb is over it. These fingers come to the corner, prop that up as you go to square it up. These fingers are curling underneath, allowing the bottom to come to the top. There's a break above the